So you want to check out some live music tonight in Ottawa, but you're not sure of where to start looking? Maybe you're not even sure what you're in the mood for. I've got a website for you. Go to Ottawagigs.ca. They have everything you need. Bands, artists, styles, venues, times, even the cost to get in. It's all at your fingertips on an easy-to-use website, Ottawagigs.ca. Go discover the incredible talent, the amazing venues, and the exciting nightlife that Ottawa has to offer. Start your night with Ottawagigs.ca, your guide to the gig.
What's up? This is Neon Ghost House, and you're listening to the Ego and Vice podcast.
Very attentively, I hope.
You've got a real attitude problem, McFly. You're a slacker.
Born and raised in South T-Bay, lower class punk ass, I was Northwood grade. I had it made. Spent my nights drinking with my mates, just a short bus ride up to PA. Red River Red. Then I hit the wall and I knew I had to bounce. They still say that 19 years ago, hell, I got the hell out. From time to time you may see me hanging around. Now I feel like a stranger in this town. Crocs and rolls is where I learned to play. Westwood Tavern's where I learned to walk away.
Hey, what's going on? This is Mike. This is episode 160 of Ego and Vice. Yes, episode 160. Can you believe it? Still going, still going. I know I marvel at that every episode, but it's amazing. It's amazing. I had a very busy week. Goat had a show at the Dom on Thursday, and then the Riptides had the Rip Fest, the record release party for our brand new record, Burn After Listening. Find it anywhere. Order it. Buy our shit. Too much shilling, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, I had a great week. It's great playing music. It's great seeing people that came out. Thank you so much for everybody that supported. Thursday was a success. Saturday was fucking ridiculous. I didn't know you could fit that many people in the Dom. And you know what? It's like 5 days later, and I'm still healthy. Like, I don't have a cold. I don't have COVID. I didn't pick up some deadly airborne carcinogen floating around. But yeah, came out the other side clean, like Andy Dufresne. Andy Dufresne crawled through a river of shit and came out clean on the other side. Andy Dufresne. Anyway, coming up this Saturday, I have a gig at the Rainbow. I'm doing an acoustic show. Didn't think I was going to do an acoustic show again this year, but Max from the New Hires sent me a message. He's like, "Can you do this?" And I said, "Absolutely, Max. You handsome bastard." How can I say no? Like I said in my post, even his DMs are handsome. Anyway, enough about me. Got to get to it. Today on the show, I have two members of the band The Rambles, Braden and Brendan. The Rambles are a local rock band. Super, super good dudes. Great music. Fun conversation. Great attitudes. Had a lot of fun. Really did. I'm going to play a song from The Rambles. First off, it's called Hold On. And then we're going to come back. We're going to have a conversation. And we're going to get 160 underway. 160. I'm going to try and get as many Ego and Vice episodes out as I can this year. But with the bands and with everything else I got going on, time is tight. But I will never abandon you. I'll always be around. Just bear with me for a bit, okay? Anyway, let's get right to it. This is Hold On. This is The Rambles. This is Ego and Vice.
Nobody in my home Good God, it brings a tear to my eye. You never know when you might go, don't leave me behind. I said you gotta hold on, hold on, hold on tight. Just a little bit longer and you might. Hold on, hold on, hold on tight. Gotta remind yourself that the future is bright. Hold on, hold on, hold on tight. Just a little bit longer, and you might. Said you gotta hold on, hold on, hold on tight. Remind yourself that the future is bright. Yes, I said you gotta hold on, hold on, hold on tight. Just a little bit longer, and you might. Said you gotta hold on, hold on, hold on tight. Remind yourself that you only got one life. I don't wanna be alone. I don't wanna be alone. Nobody in my home. I don't wanna be alone.
Hey, we're back. This is Ego and Vice, episode 160. My name is Mike, as usual, and as promised in the intro, sitting in the glorious confines of the one, the only Southwood Studios, I have Braden, and I have Brendan. No Braun. Braun is the drummer.
Brown's gone.
The Rambles. What's
Hey-
up?
Hey, how's it going?
Hello, hello.
Good.
It's,
It's another rainy, humid, gross day in Ottawa. I find that we get teased with some sun,
Mm-hmm.
and then it rains. I went for a walk for some reason today. I was feeling a little anxious,
yep.
and it would have been a lovely day, but I got just poured on. But for some reason, the way I was feeling, it kind of helped the mood.
Yeah.
I heard some sad music in the background. I didn't have
Dreary.
earbuds in or nothing. I just heard it. So I don't know. What did you guys get up to today? What is your day? What does the day look like in the Rambles camp?
Well, I actually got a new job recently at Next Gen Guitars, which is a supplier of parts for like guitars and amps and stuff like that. So I'm gonna put a plug in right off the hop. Next Gen Guitars.
Next Gen Guitars. Hey, if they want me to write them a jingle,
Yeah.
you
I'm all over it.
There you
And I support a local website. It's called Ottawagigs.ca.
Yeah.
If anyone doesn't know what Ottawagigs.ca is, all your gigging needs. If you want to watch something, if you want to go out and see a band, go to Ottawagigs.ca.
I shop at
Or-
Walmart sometimes. Walmart. It's
Yeah. Where's the jingle for Walmart? Where's
Yeah.
the plug?
Where's the check from Walmart?
Yeah,
That's what I want to
exactly,
know.
yeah.
Gen X Guitars.
Close.
Like I said. What was it?
Next Gen Guitars.
Next Gen Guitars.
But yeah, that's what I do during the day. So I didn't have to deal with the weather, really, thankfully. Yesterday and the day before that was the Italy Fest, or Italian
yeah.
Week.
Oh, that's always fun.
And Preston was all closed off, and there's musical stuff going on there. There was medieval fencing
On Preston?
on Preston. I watched
Lord.
that. There was food to be had.
What is the what
sun
is
was
what is,
shining.
is it LARPing?
LARPing.
Is it
Yeah.
the LARPing
Live
where
action
the
role playing.
right?
Yeah, this was a
Okay,
bit
yeah.
different. I think these guys like studied like the actual medieval way of sword fighting, and they had like steel swords. They were
Oh.
dulled and stuff like that.
Okay.
But
University degree in medieval
yeah,
fighting.
yeah, well, they
University
knew
of
their
Ottawa.
stuff. They knew their stuff.
Did he
that's for
say
sure.
my name is Diego Montoya,
Yeah. You killed my father.
you killed my father. Prepare to die. No.
Yeah, I
Did that
wish he
happen?
did.
That was pretty cool. Yeah.
And then the other guy's like, I'm actually right-handed. Ha
Right. I'm searching for the man with 5 fingers.
Yeah. That was my 3 days, though. Sorry, that was more than 1 day.
Well, congratulations on the new job.
Thank you.
That's always good to move up in the world, and I'm excited. I'd like to hear more about it. The actual business after.
Yeah.
We hear what
What did I do?
did you do,
I just got back from
Braden.
camping
Brendan?
at the
good.
wonderful
Tough.
Frontenac Provincial Park. I got back
that's
this
nice.
morning.
So you did beat the rain.
No.
okay.
This morning it was downpour. My partner and I, it's interior camping, so it's all like we canoed in,
Was it-
portage.
Okay, I thought you were going to say it's like glamping.
No,
Oh, okay.
it's like the opposite of glamping. It's like rugged, but yeah, we hit the rain this morning, and it was a wet one waking up. But the rest of the weekend, we've been there for 3-4 days, was just beautiful.
Good.
Like warm sun, perfect weather.
From a high school garage band in Stittsville, this project, this lifestyle that they call the Rambles was born.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Sure.
How did this begin? At high school and garage band, Stittsville.
Long
I didn't think
story.
anything came out of Stittsville.
lots
we
of
didn't-
stuff.
we don't
in
either.
Stittsville. There's now that you mention it, not much comes out of Stittsville. Fuck,
You did.
Uh,
How did this? How did it all come about? Where
well,
did you guys meet?
Brendan and I have known each other since we were about 8, I want to say.
Yeah, very, very long time.
I moved from Canada to Stittsville.
Big move.
Yeah, it was a long trek. I just envisioned those old Western
Yeah, the
caravans,
yeah.
moving over there out in the country. But so yeah, we met when we were about grade 4 or so. No musical stuff going on. We played mini sticks a lot in his basement.
Okay.
And just hung out generally. And then got older. We both started playing music. Brendan had a bass out of nowhere. I don't even remember when you got that bass.
I was taking lessons from like a friend group because like we were all like going with one music teacher like after school and whatever. And I decided to choose the bass because everybody was playing guitar. So it's like, well, they need a bassist, right? Like every good band needs a bassist.
Every bad
It
band
helps.
needs one,
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, or every bad band. Yeah.
We were bad when we started, let me tell you.
But the bass that I had was my guitar bass teacher. He was like, well, you need something. Like, you need something to practice when you're at home, not just at my place.
You need some sort of bass to play. Bass.
Yeah, right? And then
Sound logic.
yeah. And my mom came home one day and was just like, here you go.
Oh,
Here's
wow.
the bass. And I was like, this is amazing. I still have that bass, actually.
What is it? Do you know?
An
You must.
El Degas. Like,
Okay, yeah,
knockoff
yeah.
precision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a bass called the Slammer
A slammer.
That's-
from a company called Hammer. It's the Slammer by Hammer.
That's the most apt name for
You gotta have
It's
bass
fucking
guitar.
awesome. I bought it off of it was either Kijiji or Facebook Marketplace or
It's just
something.
a find like that.
Yeah, and it was like $150, and I went to some townhouse thing, and this kid opened the door. He's like, "What?" Yeah, and he handed the bass.
Here
I was
for
like,
the
Check out my
slammer?
slammer.
yeah, and he's like, Slammer by Hammer, and I said, I looked at it and I shook it, and it kind of rattled a bit. And I said, "I'll give you $100." He's like, "Sold."
Deal.
Boom, boom. I've had the bass ever since. It's great.
Nice.
We got the hammer slammer.
It's like my demo bass when I'm doing like demos at
Yeah.
home. I need like
Something.
your teacher said, you need some
Yeah.
sort of bass for bass.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's what I have. It's the Slammer by Hammer, and it's
Yeah.
sweet. I'll show you later if you
Yeah,
want.
no,
if you
I
want
lo-
to play it, touch it. I don't
I'd
know.
love
if
to
you-
see the slammer.
Yeah.
So yeah, he had a bass. I originally wanted to play drums, but for a good chunk of time lived in townhouses.
I think most kids do though.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
just
I wanted to
bang
play
around on
drums
shit.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that wasn't in the cars, but there's guitars all over the house. So I somehow managed to keep that going and keep playing it until I figured it out, which took quite a while because I didn't take lessons or anything like that. I
No,
just
we tried.
tried, but just didn't. Wasn't really my thing. So yeah, I learned guitar, and then we started jamming with like all of our we skateboarded and stuff like that, and a few of our buddies can sort of play. Dan was by far the best.
Yeah, he was
at guitar.
Yeah, he was very like technical metal.
Yeah.
So he's like, he could riff.
Yeah. Another
And,
former roommate of ours.
Yeah.
We lived off Bronson. So yeah, we just jammed and all that, but we were never really, doing anything serious. And then Braun moved to Stittsville when we were in grade 9 or 10.
Yeah.
And we saw him play at the school talent show with some other band. They played American Idiot by Green Day.
Holy moly!
And
yeah.
the two front guys were, they're trying. But Braun was ripping on the drums. We were like,
some Trey Cool action.
oh my God.
yeah.
We were like,
Oh, yeah.
it sounded like Trey Cool.
It was like
and
Trey.
yeah, he's literally however old we were, not very old.
That's a very kind of
15,
distinct drum
14.
style too that guy has, because it's kind of all the same, but
Yeah.
you know what it is, right?
Yeah,
So
it's good is what it is.
Yeah, it's good.
And
it's good.
And so we're just like, this guy's good. We got to jam with this guy. And then, then he moved to Thunder Bay after we saw him.
Hey.
I was like, oh shit.
Props Thunder Bay.
Yeah.
There he goes.
The asshole of Canada.
Yeah.
And then he came back.
There he goes. And then he came back a year later, and Dan, who we mentioned before, I think knew him the best. So we're just like, get this guy in for a jam.
Yeah.
He did right away. And we've been jamming ever since, pretty much.
Yeah.
With some periods on and off. Like Brendan went to Newfoundland for school for 4 years, and Braun and I did our own thing, school and all that stuff.
But it pulled you back in.
Life finds a
yes.
way.
Oh yeah.
It's true, right? And that's cool. Like I've interviewed a lot of, I can't call it interview. I've had a conversation with a lot of bands and artists and musicians, and I've had ones where brothers were in the band. Like they were born and raised, and they said when they were kids they fought over who was going to play guitar and stuff like that. But you guys have known each other since grade 4, and you've been playing music since you were 8 years old. Well, not 8 years old, but you met and then moved. Yeah. So that's kind of like, how could you not keep playing music together? Eventually you'd have to get back together, because you just that's just almost like the chemistry that's just impossible. It's like replacing a family member in it.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? The chemistry is like perfect.
I think that's one of like the craziest things too, is like whenever we would play with like other like friends and whatnot, like it always felt like the three of us could just like predict what we were going to do next. And like you said with the chemistry, is like you can't find that when like you go and jam with someone tomorrow, like brand new. It's like that has to like stew and like wait and marinate for a long time,
and it might not,
it might never. It's
like it's chemistry or physics or something.
Some
biology. Sometimes it's science.
It's science.
Sometimes it just doesn't jive, right?
It's magic. I say it's magic. None of this science. Boo hickey.
Yeah, can't believe it.
But so it was pretty much instant chemistry with the three of us. We've had other people join in and out and all of that, including Adam, who's another band member of the Rambles. He lives way out in outside of Napanee, so we don't get to gig and jam with him as much as we'd like to.
And
but
keyboards.
He was at our school as well in another band called the Weeds, who was a couple of years older than us. They're a big inspiration, at least for me, because I was like, holy crap, us, Catholic school boys, we can rock.
Yeah,
and
we can swear.
Yeah, so we're just like, we got to do some rock and roll stuff. And I always loved. I don't think this is how I came up with the name. At least I think I came up with the name of the Rambles. But I always like how it's a combination of two of my favorite bands, the Ramones and the Beatles. And it was just an early what's a cool generic rock star name or a rock band name. And, the Rambles, is that taken? No, doesn't seem taken. So we settled on that pretty early. And then I'd, a year later, I'd be like, we should change it to this.
Yeah.
And then we should change it to that. And then we probably went through 4 or 5 band names. But the original one that we played, our first show at the Rainbow, actually, was the Rambles.
The Rambles, yeah.
I think it's a cool name, and I've never heard a band called that before. You could compare it to like the Ramblers,
lots of those,
the Ramrods.
Yeah.
I don't know, but the Rambles. It's actually a unique name, and I think you throw a "the" in front of anything, it goes in that traditional kind of group sense. You know what I mean?
True.
I'm in a band called the Riptides.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You're in a band called the Rambles, the Beatles, the Ramones. I think it's like it's traditional and it's cool.
Yeah.
So you find a cool word like the Rambles and it
Yeah.
works. And I think it'd be hard to replace that. Like what else would you call it?
For
Like,
sure.
You know, like
Well,
Raging Sunset. You know,
Yeah,
it just
yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
sound
yeah.
as good.
Ramble.
so
Yeah.
after like we did our high school stuff, we played shows, and then we started going to college and university and stuff. I started just recording music as a solo artist under my name, and then again a few random bands. Braun would be in it a lot of the time, and then our other friends would be in it, and then I guess it would have been the time we moved in together at Cambridge Street, north or south?
So
South. Or would it have been before that we were jamming again?
no, I mean we did like your EP in like
2017. Yeah, so I released an EP that I recorded, and then Brendan, you, Braun,
I came back by then,
yeah,
and Braun was with us then.
yeah,
So
and so we did a bunch of shows solo. We got the Blues Fest gig in 2020.
Did you just apply?
Yep.
Just like anything?
Yep.
Wow, amazing, eh?
Yep, and
Good job.
yeah,
That's a hard gig.
It
It's
is,
a hard
yeah.
gig to get because everybody
sure.
applies for it.
Yeah.
yeah, and I mean I think I applied to it for us for maybe 5 years
You got
leading
it,
up to that.
Yeah.
It's a crapshoot,
It's a
but
grind.
and a grind. And we played a lot of shows leading up to that. We played Bar Robo a lot. I'd play their solo as well.
Mm-hmm.
But so we got the 2020. We all know how that went. That got canceled right away. And then 2021.
We don't talk about this.
Yeah, yeah,
Those are the dark
the
times.
dark ages.
Yeah. So 2022, it finally happened. It was still under my name, but even leading up to that show, it's just like we're playing, band gigs. We're playing songs we all wrote together.
Yeah.
Going under my name just doesn't feel right.
Did you use your full name or just your last name?
My full name,
Okay.
yeah. Braden Fowkes is the proper pronunciation, but Fowkes is like the stage
Folks.
name, just because that's what people generally assume it is anyway. So I just kind of was like, yeah, sure, do whatever you feel.
The folks.
The folks, yeah,
Folks.
Braden
That
and the
would've-
folks.
that would've
If
been
you
good
ever
one.
had a switch in mind, that would probably
Never.
be
The Rambles
close.
forever.
There
Yeah,
was like
yeah.
some like timeline incident where like it's split,
Yeah,
where
yeah,
it's
yeah.
just like
Ramble and the
Rambles
folks.
and then the folks are this way.
Yeah. So,
folks Jovi.
Folks Jovi.
folk Halen.
Bond folks.
Yeah.
Okay.
In that
Van
folk-
Folks, that's
folk
what it is.
Van
universe.
folks. Yeah, that's right.
So yeah, Blues Fest happened. It was like, this is like, let's record. We played a bunch of songs on our EP at Blues Fest.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's track these and release it and start playing shows at the Rambles again.
You said that you record your own stuff. Did you record? Do you record the Rambles?
No.
We don't track it. And I didn't with my solo stuff either. I
Okay.
definitely
you
had
said
help.
You recorded. You had it recorded.
Yeah, like friends and stuff. Like a good friend who did the first one, and then the EP that kind of got us back together was with John Chandler of Amos the Transparent at his studio.
I know John pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, at Shoebox.
You know Brian Ruxtel?
Yep, they both of them produced it and helped me record that 5-song EP.
Cool. Shoebox. Yeah. I don't know if they're. I don't think that's happening anymore.
No,
eh?
that's I think years since done, but it was a cool little studio in Canada.
Yeah, but around back in the
Yep.
low part there. I was in a band with Brian Ruxtel for back in the aughts again. It was called Our Mistake from
Our mistake.
2004 to I don't know, fucking
Yeah, cool dude.
most of that.
Whenever.
Yeah.
Both very cool dudes.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't talked to them in years.
Yeah.
Years. I don't even know what. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I think I just saw John. He's still doing Amos the Transparent.
Yes.
I think they're playing
just
Blues
did-
Fest.
Yeah, maybe that's where I just saw it. Yeah. Yeah, he's always got his finger somewhere. He'll disappear completely, and then all of a sudden Amos will pop up, and you're like, they're playing where?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I've actually had
fuck's
that
going-
like a few times where it's just like, damn, they're still going.
I know.
All right.
It's like, how did they get this? Like, you were talking about applying for Blues Fest, and I said good job because it is a tough gig, and my band Goat, it's a 3-piece punk band.
Right. That
I've applied for 14 years Blues Fest, but it might not be the most appropriate thing. Plus, we've had some hiatuses, and I don't push very hard. I just kind of whatever.
true.
You know, one thing is, I remember the year before, it must have been 2019, I was just trying to find a job, and I went to, there was like a general festival, like application thing for working at like Blues Fest, Jazz Fest, Folk Fest, and all that. So I was like, I'll go and see if I can get a job there. And I remember, like, it was like a waiting room for people to come out and interview all the different festivals.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I gotta take a leak. So I go down some hall, and there's some dude just like on his own in a corner. I think he was playing piano too, and he was just like chilling. And I don't remember how the conversation started, but I just started talking with this random guy, and then he's like, "What's your name?" And I was like, "Oh, Braden Folks." And he's like, "Okay,
Folks
cool."
Halen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Van
Look it up,
Folks,
look it up.
come on.
Look it up. Look it up.
But I don't know. I don't know who that guy was. I know it wasn't Mark Monahan or anything like that. But I sometimes wonder. I was like, wonder if that guy recognized my name when he saw the application. It's unlikely,
Paperclipped.
You never know.
but you never know.
You never know, man.
Because what gets people that edge, to get in? What gets them the selection in there? Because there's so many deserving bands in the city that haven't got that slot yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
No, that's true. That's a great question. How they do, because they must get a bazillion. And do they really go through every single one and like look at their like, I don't know if they have like an electronic press kit or they look at their
Social
their
media or
I
stuff.
don't-
numbers or what.
Yeah.
I
I
don't,
don't
even know.
recall mine being that strong either. Like we had a music video from 2011.
Yeah.
That was the only music video we had. I only had the EP in my first album out, which is very like folky country stuff, not very rock and roll for the most part. I guess there's some rock and numbers on the first part, but all that solo stuff was much more chill. And I was like, we're a rock and roll band. That was another reason, to go as the Rambles. Like it's not a solo act. We're a rock and roll band.
Yeah.
So
That's fair. I was in a band called Hearts and Minds at the time during my. I've dabbled in many projects at once, probably over dabbled.
Right.
And it was my first gig with that band. But they were friends of mine. I just kind of they lost their guitar player, and I was just like drunk at the bar one night. I'm like, you guys want to jam? I'll play guitar. And they're like, okay, be here tomorrow at 3.
Jeez.
And I jammed with them for like a week, and I'm like, what you got to get? I don't think it went down like that, but they're like, yeah, next gig's Blues Fest. And I'm like, fuck, right?
yeah.
I'm like, good timing.
Seriously.
Sweet.
Anyway, let's play a song. Let's give the good listener of Ego and Vice some reference points of what the hell we're talking about and who are the Van Rambles. Do you have a song in mind that you'd like to hear?
You choose, Brendan.
Yeah, I guess probably make the most sense was our first single, Drivin'. That's probably the best one in my opinion.
Good call.
All right, you heard it here. This is the Rambles. This is a song called Drivin', right here on Ego and Vice.
I'm driving you, and I got
The Rambles have been categorized as classic meet modern rock. How do you feel about that?
Feel pretty good.
Justifiable.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
There's pepperings, if you will, salt baying of blues, rock, country, garage, and folk.
Yeah.
Do you find it hard to classify your band like a band, like sound, like when people come up to you and they say, "Hey, what kind of music do you play?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just say rock and roll.
Yeah.
Fucking right. That's the best answer
That's
ever.
the
That's what
core
I
of
always
it.
say too, man.
That's
Just
the
covers it.
core.
Yeah,
Just covers it.
It's so good, and I don't know why that comes up, that question, but it does. And whenever I bring up descriptions of bands, I'm always curious of what some people get into, a really deep kind of philosophic kind of like, well, we do have this kind of, and it's just like, okay, man, that's cool.
Yeah. I also
Like
feel
rock and fucking roll. Is that what you mean?
I also feel too with like, if you're trying to define yourself by one genre, like super niche genre, you're kind of like pigeonholing yourself into being like, all of our songs have to be like this, right? Like I was at least recently listening to a bunch of like psychedelic rock. So it's just like, that'd be a cool avenue to go down. But then like, do we only do psychedelic rock? Or if we just do like rock, modern, like classic modern rock, it's like, no, it's like 1,000 different things we can do with this.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, like the Beatles I mentioned are a big band. They cover, so many genres.
Started a bunch too.
Yeah. But then there's also the Ramones, but they have lots of like easygoing songs too. You just gotta kind of dig for them. But they kind of cover one. They kind of like AC/DC sort of thing.
Yeah.
They just stay in one.
Repetitive.
They have a
wheelhouse.
vibe. They have a sound.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's hard to kind of decide what you want to do with the music when, there's so many routes you can take. But I think we're all just so influenced by so many different types of music. It would be silly to just be like, okay, just power chord, rock and, straight up rock song, number 45. Here we go.
Yeah, and I think if you're a band that has that kind of eclectic kind of influence, if you will, unless you have like an Enter Sandman, you have to play every show, or people are expecting a certain sound. At a certain stage in the band, like in the early days, or just like where everyone is kind of now, just playing locally and maybe smaller gigs around Ontario and that, it's like you can play whatever the fuck you want because there's no real expectation, right? And nowadays everything's kind of like, do people really pay attention as far as like records go, like full records? It's just like you can have a single, as long as it sounds like the Rambles to a degree. You know what I mean? It doesn't. Every song doesn't have to sound the same. And if you're having fun doing it, then where are the rules? Like, where does it start? Where does it end? And I think all the more power to you to open your mind and just be like, hey, let's try this.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? And I completely encourage that.
Yeah, we got new songs in the pipeline. I'd say, I mean, again, they definitely sound like the Rambles because it's us, but they're also, rock songs for the most part. There's a couple like more country-ish acoustic vibe songs. But when it comes to our live show, I think there's a lot of energy.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And we sometimes debate, it's like, do we want to slow it down with some of the slower songs we have in our repertoire, or do we want to just keep this rock and roll machine rolling?
Yeah, because there's like a vibe, right, where it's like you look out and like everybody's moving. It's just like, oh, this would be a bad time to slow down.
Right. You look at the set list and you're like,
oh, yeah.
Yeah,
so go next one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Even though it's a good song and good to play.
Got to read the room sometimes.
Exactly. And, we're definitely in our wheelhouse when, like I just said, hitting those power chord rock and roll numbers. But, so it's a, I don't know, it's a fine line, but it's not. I don't know. You trying to make it more complicated.
You can cross the line, but knowing like where you're good at, I think, is a good like stance to have. Like, branch out, but being able to kind of have that like staple, being like, okay, here we are. We can venture into this one, have a bit of an influence, come back. You know what I mean?
I suppose set length matters
also
too.
matters, yeah.
Because we played Algonquin Wolves Fest a couple times.
Oh, God, yeah.
And I think the first one was a 2-hour set. And So
Wow.
I was like, "Okay, we definitely got to play some slower ones for
Yeah.
this show
We gotta
because we're gonna have a heart
kill some
attack
time.
on
We
We
stage."
need to play slow. Yeah.
Yeah, we have no choice, and that was a hot one too.
That was extremely warm.
2 hours.
Yeah, that was a long one, but
God
it was
damn.
cool. It was
I
like
don't
a legit sort of stage, outdoor festival
yeah,
type.
yeah.
What do you? Is there even a name for those types of stages? Just outdoor.
Main stage.
I don't know.
style.
Don't know.
Upright stage.
There's a lot of rigging involved, but
Yeah. 2 hours. That's a lot of material. Did you just play Ramble songs for 2
no,
hours?
No.
Yeah,
we
you gotta-
we play.
jammed.
Yeah.
Jam for 2 hours.
We play pretty much once a month at Pubwell's on Preston Street, which is a quaint little English pub.
like a house band type of deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, he has bands play every Saturday, and then solo acts every Thursday, and we play once, usually the second Saturday
Like
of
for
every
the
month.
evening, like it's like
Yeah.
Yeah, 8 to
you're
11.
the-
8 to
you're
11.
Like the band for the. It's not
Yeah.
like hey, we're gonna play for 30 minutes and we're out of here. It's
No.
like
Yeah,
the
no,
whole
no.
evening.
We're
Yeah.
the entertainment.
8
yeah.
to 11, and a lot of those shows are covers. Just
Those are money making gigs.
Yeah.
That's great.
Exactly.
yeah, and they're fun.
They're paid rehearsals.
They're fun. We can do, like, Hamid is the owner. He's a very, very chill guy.
Amazing guy.
And like I went up to him, I was like, "Sorry, man. Like the last 3 shows, we've kind of been playing the same song and like jamming around them." He's like, "I don't care. Sounds good, man." Like,
Yeah, as long
and
as there's fucking drums and guitar coming from
Yeah,
that corner.
Exactly.
yeah, exactly. And so we get to kind of experiment with new covers and new songs, and we get to just improvise a lot, which is really fun.
Going back to that like chemistry kind of thing.
Yeah,
the improv
for sure.
of
Where
it.
you know where everyone's turning left and everyone's turning
Exactly,
right, or wait,
yeah.
right and left.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good. You know what I mean? And if you can make money in this business, in this industry, in whatever the fuck you want to call it, if you can make money playing music, any way you can do it, that's awesome. And
For sure.
still get your creativity out. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's huge. You know, some people are happy just playing cover songs for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
They don't even know how to. They've been playing guitar for 30 years. Can play everyone else's song to perfect, and they can't write their own songs. Crazy
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah.
Blows my mind, but they're
Yeah.
completely content.
I suppose it's like an artist who traces, as opposed to an artist who, comes up with stuff on their own. It's some people can just do it, I guess, and some people it's much more difficult.
Yeah, I guess so. And if you, you guys said you were mainly self-taught anyway, right? You tried lessons, but
Some
they didn't.
formal stuff too.
I'm
yeah.
self-taught as well, and I think that's where, if you can teach yourself how to play guitar, you can teach yourself how to play a song. Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
even if it's shitty, it'll evolve and get better and better and better. But until it's just your sound, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't have to sound like "Sweet Child of Mine." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you want it to? Even if it's those power chords you're talking about.
Yeah.
If it's got a good energy
Good sound to it.
and it's got a good melody,
Yeah.
That's all you need.
that's all you need,
You
man.
can-
That's
it's a hit.
that's rock and roll.
Yeah, literally.
Exactly.
Yeah. Sometimes less is more.
Absolutely.
Ramones. Fucking awesome band. Huge influence for Bob and Andy. Speaking of brothers, and my band, the Riptides, they're twins. They're twin brothers, so they really know
The
what's
flow
going on.
of things. Yeah.
And the biggest
Telepathy.
influences of the Riptides from those guys growing up were the Beach Boys and the Ramones.
That's a mighty
Wow.
close
Yeah,
to the Ramones and Beatles.
that is some power chording. That is
Yeah.
some,
Yeah.
that is some downstroking power chording.
yeah.
The Ramones have like a lot of kind of poppy, harmony rich,
Brilliant for as simple as it was.
Motown kind of inspired stuff, as well as like the straight up punk rock. So yeah, I think it's impossible, nearly impossible for bands to just stay in one lane. AC/DC, we love you for it, but I think it's harder to do that and still stay good and relevant than moving around
Weaving
the
it.
old
Yeah.
genres.
Well, that's if you're talking about you can play whatever you want. As long as it's guitars and drums and what you're doing.
Yeah.
If all of a sudden you guys come out and you're like a synth band,
Synth,
all
yeah.
four, you're like, it's like we're the Rambles. No, you're
Silver
not.
jumpsuits
Yeah,
and
yeah,
everything.
This is not the same thing, but
It's kind of how I feel with Rush in the 80s.
Okay.
So, Rush in the 70s are Flight by night down away from ya.
Down.
just like that actually.
Just like that, and just rock and roll.
So
and
sorry,
then
Getty.
80s, I couldn't sing you any of his lines because there's too much synth going on.
Right.
And all this crazy kind of stuff. But not to say that they shouldn't have done that.
No.
That's just my personal taste.
That was the times. This is
Yeah.
the time. Crazy times, man.
Yep.
Them 80s.
Yeah, but, it can be done, but some people will not like it.
Well, you can't please everybody.
No, this is true.
And you know what I mean? Why? Don't try.
No.
Whatever. You know?
Yeah.
I think art is subjective. It's just like you
Absolutely.
either like it or you don't like it.
Yeah, someone's gonna like it.
You know, and you could try as hard as you can and break your back trying to please everybody, but it's a lost cause.
Yeah.
Yeah, if there's someone who likes one of our songs,
I
that's,
like your songs.
more
Yeah.
than
There you
we
go.
can ask for.
Yeah.
That's all we really care about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of this too is like just a way to stay engaged like with music with each other and like be creative. So it's just like we're just putting this out there to like express some of ourselves and whatnot and being like, this is what we like, this is what we want to do. So if someone likes it, it's just like, hey, that's like, this isn't what we're
Bonus.
asking for. This is bonus.
Yeah. It's, you know what it is? It's a bonus that people like it, because I've always said, and I've said it many times, that it's a privilege to play music with your friends
Oh, for sure.
and to continue doing it year after year. And even if you don't have shows coming up, you get together and jam, and it's
Yeah.
just hanging out and making music. That's like, people would dream all their lives and never have that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So never take it for granted. It's like, I don't. Like, I love it. I fucking love it. And I'll do it until I die. I'll be that old guy. You
Yeah.
know?
Like
Yeah.
people play like, well, I play like sports every week. I kind of can think of it like that, right? Where it's like
you
you're
go.
out once a night
Passion,
playing
man.
hockey.
That's it. Yeah.
Or out once a night jamming with your boys.
I don't know. You're probably not going to make the NHL, but that's
Lord,
not the
no.
point. Do you know what I mean?
God,
Just like
no.
you
Don't
might.
crush his dreams like
Yeah,
that.
right. There's still time.
Yeah.
There's still time.
Hey,
but
we won the Div 10 out of 10 championship 2 years ago. So
Oh,
the
wow.
best of the worst.
I didn't realize I was sitting next
Yeah,
to
the one.
He's
Yeah.
gonna be-
You should have led with that since you came in. By the way,
Yeah.
This guy is also a doctor,
oh yeah,
Dr. Hoff.
Yeah.
He's
doctor of what?
I just got my PhD in neuroscience.
Yeah, so he's a
So,
brainiac,
big
hockey
deal.
player,
Yeah,
bass
big what?
player.
Big deal.
What of it?
I live in a basement. So what? Congratulations. That's
Thank
amazing.
You. Yeah, no, it's tough, but
You're
got
in
through
like
it.
the small group of like I'd say the punk rock professor, like Greg
Yes.
Graffin from
Yeah.
Bad Religion.
Yeah.
Or like
the
Brian-
Milo from the Descendants.
Oh,
he's
really?
He's a doctor of something.
Yeah, the I can never remember his name, but the front man to the Offspring.
Oh yeah, Dexter.
yeah.
That he has a PhD
Dexter
in
Holland.
Right.
microbiology.
Right.
I was about to say Brian May, but he's an astrophysicist.
He
I
got
think.
an honorary doctorate.
Oh, okay. Doesn't
So,
count.
But I mean, he was also in his master's for astrophysics.
Right.
So
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Honestly, just the focus to get that done. So you have shows that you've played. You have some new music coming up. Any touring coming up? Any going out of town doing some?
In August, we're going to London, Ontario, to play Rum Runners with a band called Heartlet. And I think another band is on the bill that escapes me at the moment. And we're in the midst of trying to book a Toronto show for the following day, and then the weekend before that, we're here in Ottawa at the Rainbow, and then Kingston. So we're doing like a 2-weekend thing.
Cool. Do you have any anything that we've kind of missed about what's going on? Do you have any immediate thank yous that you want to shout out before we play 13 Questions with the band?
Immediate thank yous.
I'd first say probably Steve at Audio Valley for putting all
Yeah,
like the stuff. That's where we recorded the EP Audio Valley, and he was lights out with like super professional, obviously, but yeah, I'd say at least.
Yeah, we got like the
shout
first
him out.
time having professional sounding tracks is a very nice thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know, all the venue owners here in the city who help bands like us, play shows. Thank you, Hamid. Thank you, John. Oh, I can't remember the name of the owner of the Rainbow, but I'd like to thank her too. Everybody.
Cool. Ottawa has a very rich and vast and supportive music community. And we're lucky to have it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And with you guys in it, it's a stronger scene.
Yeah, no, it's
Thank you, Mike.
the hidden
You're welcome.
gems. The hidden gems in Ottawa, I think, are always fun to
100%.
kind
Yeah.
of stumble across.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, they're from Ottawa?
Mhm.
And I love it. That's why I do this. So, 13 questions with the band. You ready to play?
Ready.
Let's do it.
Time for 13 questions with the band. Yes, this segment's back again. It's called 13 questions, but I only asked 6, maybe 5.
Okay, 13 questions with the band. 13 questions with the Rambles. The first question, and you both can answer, is what is the very first physical music you bought, whether it be vinyl, a tape, a CD?
Whoa.
I remember it being Oasis. What's the story? Morning Glory
CD?
CD.
Compact disc.
Yeah, mine was a CD too, and it was the what is it? The Eminem's like first one that I had to like beg my parents to get, like the Gray album.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Like the Slim Shady something.
With the red
Yeah.
curtains?
Marshall Mathers.
No, not the
CD.
curtain call, but
Yeah.
the Gray.
What, the red curtains?
It was just so far like back that I was like trying to force my parents to buy because it had the
Yeah.
explicit rating on it. But that was like, I can't remember if I bought it or not. But
That
was
one
the
deserved it, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, back
Yeah.
in the
There's
day.
looking back, it was kind of interesting.
Are you gonna go see Oasis, the big reunion tour? I think the tickets are only about $8,000
Yeah,
each.
I was gonna say.
We don't pay musicians and
House mortgage for it.
next gen guitar warehouse workers enough.
Right. Okay. Next question. What was the very first live concert you ever saw?
Sum 41 is the first one I remember, which I believe was at the first location where Blues Fest was, which I can't remember
It's
where
kind of
that was.
bounced around a little bit. I remember it
Yeah.
was downtown one year,
Yeah.
right by City Hall. That
It-
was weird.
It definitely wasn't LeBreton Flats,
Hmm.
but that's my first.
I just saw Sum 41 not last year, 2
Yeah,
years
they did a
ago.
reunion tour.
Yeah, Derek Whibley said "fuck" too much on stage. I actually started getting offended.
Yeah.
I remember he asked, he's like, "Give me your middle fingers," and I was like, "Mom, can I give him the middle finger?" He's like,
Yeah.
"Yes, honey, you can."
Yeah, it was too much. It was too much because it was like it's a family. See, this is the old guy in me. It's like it's a family event. There was kids
Yeah.
there, and Derek Whibley's 45 years old. And he's like, "Fuck this, fuck that, fucking
Yeah, the
every
teenage
fucking
angst.
word. Oh, look at me. Every word was fucking this, fucking, and I was just like, really? This guy's been at this for what, 25 years, and that's still his shtick?
Yeah. that's
Anyway, it
sick.
bothered me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry it bothered me. The kid, bad mouth, bad
Yelling at
language.
Sky.
Anyway.
I think I didn't go see like a band per se. My dad, I grew up a lot with the classic albums live.
Oh.
They do like a bunch of like the Queen album or like The Wall. I remember seeing my dad. It's all studio musicians that tour. So I don't think it was like a Sum 41 or like a band, but it was a like reenactment of just like the classic rock, and that like stuck out because I was super young when I've seen a bunch of them with them too.
Cool. Yeah, that's something though. That's for
Yeah.
sure. That's like your live music. That's like, wow,
Absolutely.
this is normally it comes out of this little box. Now
Yeah.
it's like people playing it. It's
Hearing
crazy.
it recreated.
What was the most recent show you've been to?
Like show that we've seen or played?
Seen.
Seen.
Maybe not local either. Like something that you had to buy like a ticket for and go to like the.
I'm trying to rack my brain. Jeez.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember too.
God, yeah. Why am I blanking? We saw like when we did the Hope Fest, Cassador played, and that was pretty mesmerizing. They were really good.
Yeah, have we not seen a show since then?
We saw Riley Burns,
We saw Riley Burns, our good,
good friend.
and co-musical compatriot partner.
someone.
He's occasional rambler himself. Or
Ah.
ramble.
Ah,
You
yes.
can't say rambler. Rambly.
Ramblite.
Ramblite. Yeah, our good buddy, who Brendan's playing with on an upcoming tour.
Yeah,
Cool.
next week.
But yeah, I can't think of anybody besides that for some reason.
Oh, that's good enough. That's a great answer. Next question. What is your favorite song today? Today.
Oh,
I just I was scrolling and I saw Geordie, which is Brian Johnson's first band before he joined AC/DC.
Oh yeah.
And there's this song called "Goodbye Love," and it is a banger. Oh my god! And he's not singing like all screechy.
I've seen the reel or
Yeah.
whatever of it when he's like
took my
grudge
money
he's
and
got the scarf on and shit.
just bad.
I know, it's
Oh my
crazy.
god! It's such a catchy.
And then they cut to like Back in Black, and it's like,
Yeah,
what?
yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, so that video, I was like, what is that song? So I listened to that, and I've been playing that in the car a lot.
I've got the Easy Lover by Phil Collins, like
nice.
the 91 in Berlin video where they're on like hands on each other's
Yeah,
shoulders.
doing the synchronized dancing and
sync
stuff.
dancing
Yeah,
to
yeah.
the guitar
When are we
solo.
going to do that?
When
are we doing it?
We got to plan that out, but that's been in my like etched into my brain as of late.
I can't wait to recreate that.
if you could open for any artist, who would it be and where would it be?
Ooh. There's a lot. I always think one that would be somewhat reasonable would be the Sheepdogs.
Yeah.
I think a good classic Canadian band would be a lot of fun to open for. Kind of the same genre and vibe that we give out at either Massey Hall or Red Rocks Amphitheater. Those are the two dream venues for sure.
Yeah. I've got
Cool.
If it could be anybody in like any place, I've quite a bit of connection to Kingston. That's where my partner's family's from. So probably like the hip last show in the K-Rock Center. That would be mesmerizing to play
Awesome.
there.
The Hip.
The hip.
Shame.
Yep.
The Rambles, the movie. Who do you want to play you?
Willem Dafoe.
I can see it.
Really, Willem Dafoe?
Yeah, I'm being dead serious. He's a phenomenal actor. Why are you laughing?
No
He's
reason
like
at all.
80.
One of the reasons. Kylo Ren.
Oh,
Adam Driver.
Adam Driver. I get
see
a
that.
lot
A
of
little
people
bit.
who are just like, hey,
Can you not see a movie set of a stage with Willem Dafoe and Adam Driver rocking it out?
yeah. that's
Yeah,
true.
see?
Sure.
See?
I'll just have to wear like the huge pants that go up to like my chest,
Yeah.
shirtless.
2 more questions. I should have explained 13 questions with the band. I have 13 questions, and I ask from the 13
The
questions. I don't
bank.
ask all
The
13.
bank.
So it's like a mixed bag of what are we going to get today?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Keep them on their toes.
2 more questions. For either of you, if you could have a drink or a meal with any artist from any era, who would it be?
Well, you're taking too long, so I'm
Yeah,
going to
go for
go
I'm
with...
putting a lot of thought into it, all right?
Well, yeah. I mean, the first one that immediately pops in my mind is like probably what most people say, John Lennon. Just because dude seemed like a really funny guy. He seemed like, once you're comfortable with him, and I wouldn't be like shaking and sweating of nerves and stuff like that. He seems like he would be a pretty fun dude to have a conversation with, and a couple of, a meal and some
And some LSD.
and some LSD tea.
That's right.
I'd probably say Elton John. Yeah, have a drink, have a tea.
Have a bit of tea with
Tea with
John.
Elton John.
Even though we're doing a bit more of a Mick Jagger impersonation here.
Same
we'll do,
island.
That would
Elton
be
John.
that'd be pretty educational, actually. Elton
Yeah.
John's fucking done a lot of. So would John Lennon too.
Yeah, I mean, I love Elton John. Seems like a dick in person.
Yeah, but hey, he's entitled to.
I agree.
Look, he's a legend.
I agree.
Yeah.
So he has little hissy fits and fucking anger
Moments.
moments, and who gives a shit? He can do whatever he
I
wants.
totally
He can,
agree.
It's also Elton.
Elton John can write his own ticket. I don't give a shit.
I'd be worried he'd get mad at you or something.
Well, just
Well, I'd
know?
show him my tattoo, and then we'd be cool.
Okay.
just
that's fair.
honor his presence. And
Yeah,
it'll be fine.
exactly.
Yeah, bow down.
Get down on my knee.
Last question. That was both. Yeah, that was both. Who are the Rambles?
Oh, we're just
Oh, Jesus.
humble Stittsville folk
Yeah.
who have moved further into the city. And we just like music. We like good times.
We like putting on a
Putting on the
party.
Ritz.
Putting on the Ritz.
Putting on the Ritz.
Putting on a good show for friends and newcomers and getting people moving. I think like there's something to moving to music and making people move to music is kind of like a pretty inspiring and powerful thing that like it's awesome to watch. Once people move into your stuff, like when we're on stage and we can see out to the 1 foot in front of the stage lights and you see people grooving, it's like, damn, we're doing something good, I think.
Yeah. And like I said, man, living the dream.
We're lucky. We're
really
super lucky.
Privilege. It's an
Super
absolute
lucky.
privilege. And I wish you nothing but the best. Thank you for coming
Thanks,
by
man.
and sharing all your conversations with me. It's been a
Yeah.
blast.
No, this has been a lot of
We
fun.
should definitely do it again sometime.
Absolutely down.
And I will keep my eye on Ottawagigs.ca for the next time the Rambles play, and I'll try to make it out.
Yeah, man.
Excellent. Thanks,
Cool.
Mike.
Yeah, thanks
No
so
problem.
much for this.
Well, I can never ever seem to realize why time's just passing me by, and it don't have much to say. You know I don't really care anyway. Well, ooh, I want it like that. Woo-hoo, you know I need it like that. Oh, babe, you're always telling me I'm this and I'm that. Then you're trash talking me on your welcome mat. Oh, come on. And you know that time is just ticking right along by. It's gone in a blink of an eye, and I look to see I'm old and gray. But don't you know I kinda like it that way? Well, ooh, I want it like that. Woo-hoo, you know I need it like that. Oh, babe, you're always telling me I'm this and I'm that, but then you're trash talking me on your welcome mat. Oh, come on. Don't you know my mind? It's blowing up all the time. I take a look inside my mind's eye, and all I see is everything and all the terrible things it brings. Well, ooh, I want it like that. Woo-hoo, you know I need it like that. Oh, babe, you're always telling me I'm this and I'm that. Then you're trash talking me on your welcome mat. Oh, come on.
All right, that's it for episode 160. I'd like to thank the dudes from the Rambles for coming by. Fun conversation. Always good to sit down with some like-minded folk and talk music. Wish them nothing but the best. If you want to get a hold of me, you can always reach me at egoandvice@gmail.com. If you want to listen to the podcast or you want to find all the links to the podcast, go to egoandvicepodcast.com, my home base, my HQ. Anything you need, Ego and Vice will be there. Right. So probably only another episode or two before my mid-year break, so I can take some time off this summer and be busy elsewhere. I just want to ride my bike, but I don't have time. I don't have time. Oh, woe is me. Anyway, take care. See you next time.
You've got a real attitude problem, McFly. You're a slacker.
Born and raised in South T-Bay, lower class punk ass, I was Northwood grade. I had it made. Spent my nights drinking with my mates, just a short bus ride up to PA. Red River Red. Then I hit the wall and I knew I had to bounce. They still say that 19 years ago, hell, I got the hell out. From time to time you may see me hanging around. Now I feel like a stranger in this town. Crocs and rolls is where I learned to play. Westman's having